My name is Jacob Evan Smith. I'm the Director of Mobility and Health Innovation at TechTown. What that means is effectively I work with startup founders to help them connect to the right partners and resources. In my role, I run a program called MAIN, the Mobility Accelerator Innovation Network, which is essentially a regional collaboration that is looking to build up the local mobility ecosystem. So it's basically a partnership between eight different organizations from academia to accelerator programs and entrepreneurial support organizations, et cetera, all working together to ensure that no matter what stage you're at as a mobility founder, we can help you connect to the right, help you get the support that you need. This fits into the broader entrepreneurial ecosystem because mobility is a key piece of the puzzle as Michigan looks to define how it's going to approach economic development looking forward to the future. And yeah, Maine is helping to empower that shift and make sure that we're primed to build the strongest mobility companies in the world right here in Detroit and in Michigan. There's a number of trends in the local mobility ecosystem that we're particularly excited about right now. I'd say at the highest level, there's been over a number of years now this growing realization that mobility, we have an opportunity to define mobility more broadly than just automotive. So traditionally, Detroit and the region have had kind of all their economic eggs in the automotive basket. But by defining mobility more broadly as efficiently moving people, goods, and information by land, air, or sea, as the state likes to say, this broader definition allows us to take advantage of our regional strengths like manufacturing prowess, outsized number of engineering talent coming out of our universities, et cetera. And just the brand equity of being, the global center for the automotive industry, taking those positive regional strengths and applying them to a much broader range of businesses, including drone technology and the next generation ships, but also autonomous robots for delivery or technologies that remove the need to move around at all, like telemedicine or systems that can deliver solutions directly to individuals in a variety of ways. So that's one thing that we're particularly excited about. More generally, and I think this plays into this, is just this opportunity to to recognize that mobility is not a standalone vertical. We like to say mobility is not a vertical, but it's a horizontal. It's a multiplier that impacts basically all sectors. So if you think about healthcare, if you can't get to the doctor, which in Detroit, in a city like Detroit that doesn't have a strong public transit infrastructure and it's very spread out, if you can't get to the doctor, you're going to have worse health outcomes. If kids can't get to after school programs, it's going to be more likely that they're going to get into, mischief, whatever the case may be. If you can't get to the grocery store, you're not going to have your nutrition's not going to be as good. So we view this kind of more holistically as this opportunity to view mobility as a multiplier that can help solve a wide variety of social issues that not exclusively, but uniquely impact this region. And the last thing I'll say is just that in all of these efforts, we're really looking to ensure that the founders in this ecosystem represent the broader community. So by ensuring that our programs are equitable and inclusive, we are putting ourselves in a position where local entrepreneurs with lived experiences can start to solve some of these unique challenges in a way that somebody coming from the outside looking in just doesn't even have the perspective to be able to solve nearly as effectively. So take that all together, and there's a lot of very exciting opportunity in the mobility sector in Michigan right now. For somebody looking to get started in the mobility ecosystem in Michigan, First and foremost, it really just depends on what stage you're at. So if you're coming to the table with just an idea, for example, TechTown really looks to be the on-ramp, the first step for folks looking to break into the entrepreneurial space. Um, Take that even a step back further. Some of our university partners, working on R&D and commercialization through the universities, in some cases, that might even be the first step. So if you're a student, for example, the path might look a little bit different. But if you're, regardless of who you are, if you're starting out with an idea and you're looking to figure out how to take that idea to testing and deployment and really get launched. Um, there's a variety of ways to go about that. The way TechTown approaches it is by supporting you holistically, first with training and mentorship. So we offer a variety of programs that you're in a cohort, so you're with, like-minded individuals at a similar stage, learning fundamentals of entrepreneurship that are directly relevant to the stage that you're at. So, for example, that might look like general entrepreneurial education if you're really unfamiliar. That might look like MVP development, minimum viable product. So, developing a basic prototype of your solution so that you can turn around and start showing customers and investors. That might look like customer discovery, figuring out who you are even selling to that's a big enough, addressable market to make an impact, but to ensure that you're actually solving a challenge and delighting a specific group of customers. So that's a huge piece of what we do at TechTown. The other piece is connecting folks with our mentor network. So we have, for example, free strategy sessions with experts in a variety of domains. There's other organizations locally in the ecosystem that can help with that as well, like the SBDC, the Small Business Development Council. So that's basically the first step. From there, it really depends on your needs. So if you're looking for talent, there's pathways to connect. If you're looking for funding, there's a variety of non-dilutive funding sources available that depending on the time and the type of business and the stage, et cetera, we can help you connect to. So as an example, TechTown helps run we facilitate a program in partnership with a couple of other organizations called Venture 313. That's a non-dilutive grant funding program to help startups that are at a certain stage where the funding can help them get from that stage to basically going live with a prototype and help them with actual funding. I would say from there, there's a variety of resources to help, for example, with hard tech funders that are looking to prototype. That's what the Centropolis Accelerator at Lawrence Tech specializes in. There's also New Lab through Michigan Central that has really advanced prototyping capabilities. So I'm throwing a lot of words out there. The point is that it's that every company is unique and has this unique set of challenges, but they usually boil down to kind of 6 to 8 different buckets, and we're looking to think about this ecosystem holistically so that we can ensure that we can channel you to the right resources and get you to the right place. The last thing I would say is that the state of Michigan and the city of Detroit and other cities, locally, have different resources available as well, whether that's funding or just efforts to, innovation districts that cut red tape and allow you to test more efficiently. There are all sorts of efforts going on to help make it as easy as possible to go from idea to launch. And we're looking to be a partner that can hold your hand throughout that process and make sure that you understand what's available and how to best take advantage of those resources. Detroit and the broader region, and I'll say Southeast Michigan, but also Michigan at large. I think there's unique opportunities here um, that have to do both with our talent, our reputation and history, and other regional strengths. So there's a number of things that are unique here. So I'd say first and foremost that from a talent perspective, we have unbelievably strong universities in Michigan across the board. from Wayne State and Detroit, University of Michigan, Michigan State, uh, Michigan Tech, up north, etc. Sorry for anyone I'm leaving out. There's many really strong educational institutions churning out incredible talent. Because of the history with auto and because of these strong universities, Michigan has one of the highest densities of physical engineers, electrical, mechanical, etc., of any region in the country. I think that's often overlooked, and something that folks really folks that come here to build things, it often has to do with taking advantage of that talent. Another thing I would say is that this region is uniquely supportive. So myself, I come from mostly a startup background, so I can say this from experience. Uh, Detroit and the region at large is a place where you can come if you're committed to building something with a lens towards, adding value to the community and being generally yeah, community minded in the way you're thinking about problem solving. Folks here want to support you because this region faces some unique challenges. For example, our public transit infrastructure is particularly weak. Folks have trouble getting to resources in a way that, if you're not from here, it's hard to explain to people. Our school system has all sorts of struggles, and we've got, an underdog reputation and just these different kind of unique challenges. Unique challenges present unique opportunities. So when I go to these, conferences and I'm with all folks in San Francisco, they're often operating in a bubble and they're talking about solutions to problems that don't even exist here, like things that are fine for them to focus on, but uh, by supporting local entrepreneurs and by solving challenges that uniquely impact this region, you're actually able to drive innovation that can have reverberating impact to a much wider market by zeroing in on those challenges that you uniquely see here because you are here and exposed to those types of challenges. One of the pieces of advice that I often give to entrepreneurs is well, it's kind of twofold. One is don't go it alone. So we often hear that this region has silos, that folks kind of operate in their own zones and sometimes don't know what other people are working on. Um, there are incredible resources available and folks that want to help you. So what I want to just reiterate to people is that it's in your selfish interest to not only help other people, because that thinking value first comes back to you. And if you're always just asking, people are less inclined to help you. But on the flip side, that actually thinking about partnership and how you can collaborate across organizations and resources um, is hugely valuable and a major piece of what I would consider a recipe for success. There's a very, very successful serial entrepreneur locally named Doug Song, who sold his business a number of years ago in Michigan for several billion dollars. I heard Doug Song once say that the reason the when he knew that Detroit had hit a tipping point and he wanted to put roots down and invest here was when he realized that at networking events, instead of people walking around figuring out who they could connect with, folks were walking around figuring out who they could connect each other to. And that's something that I really internalize and quite frankly I've made a career out of. My job is to connect people to each other, and that's where I really see that I add the most professional value in my life. But the reason that I've zeroed in on that is because I've discovered firsthand the way that that's just absolutely true and pivotally important for entrepreneurs as they think about developing their idea. For any entrepreneur that's looking to learn more or to plug in and learn, and to get direct support, honestly, I just recommend connecting with me directly. So you can find me on LinkedIn. I have a very common first and last name, so look up Jacob Evan Smith, and you should be able to find me. You can also email me directly at jacobs@techtowndetroit.org. So feel free to reach out. I can help, we can have a quick conversation and help get you to the right resources or partners. Additionally, a new tool that was recently launched called the Michigan Startup Navigator. That's mistartupnavigator.org. Is live in beta, so look out for some improvements coming soon. But incredible database of entrepreneurial resources available that we're going to be improving drastically over the next several months and really making it this easy to navigate tool that, depending on your stage and needs, you'll be able to navigate and find those resources yourself as well. So be sure to check that out, reach out to me, and I look forward to hearing from you.